There are places on this planet where the Earth rises up to challenge the heavens. Places where the ground we walk on ascends into the troposphere, breaking through the clouds to touch the vacuum of space. For thousands of years, humans have looked up at these jagged white teeth and seen the throne of the gods. The Tibetans call them Chomolungma, Mother Goddess of the world. We call them the Himalayas. This is not merely a mountain range. It is a scar on the face of the planet, a violent testament to the power of geology. 50 million years ago, the Indian subcontinent smashed into Asia with the force of 1,000 nuclear bombs, crumpling the Earth's crust into towering cathedrals of rock and ice. And the violence has not ended. The mountains are still growing, rising millimeters every year, grinding and groaning under the tectonic stress. It is a landscape of absolutes, the highest peaks, the deepest valleys, the strongest winds. Here, the rules of biology are rewritten by the laws of physics. As you ascend, the air grows thin. At these altitudes, every breath contains only a fraction of the oxygen found at sea level. The lungs burn, the blood thickens to sludge, the mind hallucinates. It is an environment so hostile that mountaineers call the upper reaches the death zone, a place where the human body begins to die the moment it arrives. The cold here is not just a temperature, it is a physical weight, capable of freezing flesh in minutes. The wind screams across the ridges at speeds that can strip paint from metal. In this documentary, we will leave the green world below and climb into the white void. We will walk the cliff edges to find the elusive phantom that rules the peaks. We will fly with the monarch of the air, a raptor that hunts wolves. We will witness the defiance of the climber and the engine of the east. Forget the jungles, forget the oceans. This is a journey to the ceiling of the earth, a place of thin air and deep magic. Welcome to the Himalayas. Our ascent begins in the high-altitude deserts of Ladakh and the rocky crags of the Tibetan Plateau. Here, the landscape is a monochrome painting of gray stone, white snow, and brown earth. It is a puzzle of textures designed to deceive the eye. You can stare at a mountainside for hours, scanning every boulder and shadow, and see nothing but rock. But the rock is watching you. Hidden in the shadows, blending seamlessly with the granite, is the holiest grail of wildlife filmmaking. The Shan, the gray ghost, the snow leopard. This is not a tiger of the humid jungle or a lion of the golden savanna. This is a creature of the ether, a biological impossibility that thrives where life should freeze. It is the most elusive big cat on the planet, an animal so secretive that for centuries, locals believed it could shapeshift, melting into the mist at will. Seeing one is not just a sighting, it is a spiritual visitation. To survive here, at altitudes of 4,000 meters, the snow leopard has evolved into a masterpiece of high-altitude engineering. Every inch of its anatomy is adapted for the cold. Its fur is the densest of all cats, a luxurious double coat with woolly underfur 5 inches thick. It does not just cover the back, it covers the belly, protecting vital organs when the cat lies on the frozen ground. Even its paws are wrapped in fur, including the spaces between the pads. These are not just feet, they are natural snowshoes. They spread the leopard's weight, allowing it to walk on top of the powdery snow where a wolf or a human would sink waist deep. They also act as silencers, dampening the sound of its steps on crunching ice. But the most striking feature of the ghost is its tail. It is immense, almost as long as the cat's entire body, thick and muscular. In the treacherous gymnastics of the cliffs, this tail acts as a gyroscope. When the leopard chases prey across shifting scree and icy ledges, the tail swings like a pendulum, counterbalancing its weight and preventing a fatal fall. At night, when the temperature plummets to 30 degrees below zero and the wind howls through the canyons, the leopard curls up and wraps this thick, furry scarf around its face, filtering the ice crystals and warming the air before it enters its lungs. Speaking of air, the snow leopard breathes differently. Its nasal cavities are enlarged, acting as a heating chamber to warm the freezing air before it hits the delicate tissue of the lungs. Its chest is deep and barrel-shaped, housing oversized lungs and a massive heart capable of extracting every meager molecule of oxygen from the thin atmosphere. While a human climber gasps for breath after a few steps, the leopard can sprint up a 40-degree slope without faltering. Hunting in this terrain is a game of high stakes and chaotic physics. Its prey is the blue sheep, or baral, animals that are themselves masters of the cliff face. A hunt here is not a sprint on flat ground. It is a controlled fall down a mountainside. The leopard must launch itself into the void, trusting its claws and its balance. It is a violent, acrobatic dance where the predator and prey tumble down precipices, bouncing off rocks, sliding through shale. The impact forces are tremendous. The leopard's skeleton is built to withstand shocks that would shatter the bones of a lowland cat. Yet despite his ghostly power, he is a lonely king. Snow leopards are the ultimate solitaries. A single male patrols a territory that can span hundreds of square kilometers of vertical rock. He is a nomad in a kingdom of stone. To find a mate or to warn off a rival, he cannot rely on sight in this labyrinth of canyons. He relies on scent and sound. He leaves messages on the rocks, sprays of musk that last for weeks in the dry air. And occasionally, the silence of the Himalayas is broken by his call, a piercing, mournful yowl that echoes off the canyon walls, a song of loneliness searching for an answer in the dark. He is the spirit of the peaks, the guardian that ensures these mountains remain wild, untamed, and shrouded in mystery. While the leopard rules the rock, the air belongs to a tyrant. High above the jagged spires, riding the invisible thermal currents that rise from the valley floor, circles a shadow. It is a silhouette of pure power, a creature that views the entire mountain range not as a landscape, but as a chessboard. This is the golden eagle, the monarch of the sky. In the Himalayas, birds are not just delicate singers. They are warriors built of feather and bone. And the golden eagle is the supreme commander. With a wingspan of over 2 meters, it is a flying giant. But it is not just size that defines it. It is attitude. This bird possesses an aggression that borders on madness. It is one of the few predators on Earth that will routinely attack animals significantly larger than itself. Foxes, young deer, and even full-grown wolves are on the menu. Its dominance begins with its vision. The eyes of a golden eagle are biological telescopes. They are densely packed with light-sensitive cells, giving them a visual acuity 8 times sharper than a human's. From a soaring height of 2 kilometers, indistinguishable to us from a speck of dust, the eagle can spot the twitch of a rabbit's ear on a brown hillside. It sees in technicolor detail, perceiving ultraviolet light that reveals the urine trails of prey like glowing neon signs on the rocks. Once the target is locked, the mechanics of flight change instantly. The eagle folds its massive wings against its body, transforming from a glider into a missile. It enters a stoop. Gravity takes hold. The bird accelerates, dropping from the sky at speeds that can exceed 240 kilometers per hour. At this velocity, the air resistance is like a solid wall, and the sound of the wind tearing over its feathers screams like a jet engine. The impact is devastating. The golden eagle does not hunt with its beak, it hunts with its feet. Its talons are curved daggers, longer than a tiger's claws, and possessed of a crushing grip strength that can snap a spine instantly. When it hits prey at full speed, the kinetic energy is equivalent to a bowling ball dropped from a skyscraper. It doesn't just catch the animal, it breaks it. But in the treacherous verticality of the Himalayas, the golden eagle has developed a hunting technique that is both genius and terrifying. It uses the mountain itself as a weapon. When hunting heavy prey like mountain goats or young chamois, animals too heavy to carry away, the eagle employs physics. It latches onto the animal near the edge of a cliff. It doesn't try to kill it immediately. It tries to destabilize it. With a powerful flap of its wings, it drags the struggling victim off the ledge. It throws them into the abyss. The eagle releases its grip and watches them fall, waiting for gravity to do the killing work, before descending to feast on the carcass below. It is a brutal, calculated use of the environment. This ruthlessness extends to its family life. Golden eagles mate for life, forming a bond that can last for decades. They build massive nests, called eyries, on inaccessible cliffs, adding sticks year after year until the structure weighs tons. But inside the nest, nature is cruel. Usually, 2 eggs hatch. The first chick is born a few days earlier, making it larger and stronger. If food is scarce, the older sibling will attack the younger one. It pecks it, dominates it, and denies it food. This is called canism. The parents do not intervene. They watch stoically. In the unforgiving ecosystem of the high mountains, where food is a rarity, it is better to raise 1 strong survivor than 2 weak failures. The golden eagle is the embodiment of the mountain's cruelty and its majesty. It soars in the thin air where commercial planes fly, a golden-crowned king looking down on the world of men. It reminds us that the sky is not empty space. It is a territory, and it is occupied by a lethal intelligence that strikes from the sun. In a world made of vertical walls, crumbling shale, and lethal drops, survival is not about speed. It is about grip. We look at a sheer cliff face and see a barrier, a wall that ends our journey. The Markhor sees a staircase. Here, in the rugged mountains of Pakistan and the Himalayas, lives the undisputed king of gravity. This is the largest of all wild goats, a creature so impressive that it seems to belong in a fantasy novel rather than a biology textbook. Its name comes from the Persian, meaning snake eater, a nod to ancient folklore that claimed it killed serpents. But its true power is not in killing snakes. It is in conquering the void. The males are magnificent beasts, weighing up to 110 kilograms. They are crowned with immense corkscrew horns that can grow over 1.5 meters long, twisting toward the sky like dual tornadoes. They wear a long, shaggy beard that hangs to their knees, giving them the appearance of ancient, wise wizards of the peaks. But beneath this heavy ornamentation and thick fur lies a body of pure muscle and kinetic tension. To escape the silent approach of the snow leopard and the diving attack of the golden eagle, the Markhor has evolved to go where the predators cannot follow. They live their lives on the precipice. Their hooves are technological marvels of evolution. They are split in 2, capable of moving independently to grip uneven surfaces. The outer rim of the hoof is made of keratin as hard as bone, allowing them to dig into ice and jagged rock like a crampon. The inner pad, however, is soft, rubbery, and textured, providing traction on smooth stone like a climbing shoe. Watching a Markhor ascend a cliff is a lesson in advanced physics. They do not just climb, they bounce. They can leap vertically, ricocheting off rock faces to reach higher ground. They possess an innate, almost supernatural understanding of balance. A massive male, top-heavy with huge horns, can stand on a loose rock, assess its stability in a millisecond, and shift his weight before it slides away. They defy the laws of gravity with a casual arrogance, grazing on tufts of grass hanging over 1,000-meter drops. But the horns are not just for show. They are weapons of war. During the rutting season, the silence of the mountains is broken by the crack of bone on bone. The males engage in gladiatorial combat on the edge of the abyss to win the right to mate. This is not a simple shoving match. They rear up on their hind legs, towering high, and crash down, locking their spiral horns together. The torque is immense. They twist and wrestle, trying to throw their opponent off balance. In an arena where a single misstep means a fatal fall, these fights are incredibly dangerous. They are wrestling on a tightrope. The loser is often pushed to the brink, forced to retreat or risk being hurled into the valley below. Yet they fight, driven by the biological imperative to pass on their genes to the next generation of climbers. The Markhor is a symbol of resilience in a land of scarcity. It thrives on the barren mountainsides where vegetation is dry and sparse, eating scrub oak and bitter leaves. It endures the freezing winters and the scorching summers of the high altitude. It is a creature that has turned the most hostile terrain on Earth into a sanctuary, proving that with enough adaptation, even a vertical wall can be a home. They are the acrobats of the apocalypse, dancing on the edge of the world. As we climb higher, past the tree line, past the grazing grounds of the Markhor, we enter a zone of death. Here, the air is so cold and dry that bacteria struggle to survive. Carcasses do not rot. They freeze and mummify, turning into rock-hard statues of skin and bone. In this wasteland, where meat is scarce and competition is fierce, nature has evolved a recycler that is as bizarre as it is terrifying. Gliding on wings that span nearly 3 meters, with eyes ringed in scarlet red and a face that looks like a dragon, comes the lammergeier, the bearded vulture. Most vultures are scavengers that wait for an animal to die so they can strip the soft meat from the carcass. The bearded vulture has no interest in meat. It craves something else. It eats what no one else wants. It eats bones. It is the only animal on Earth whose diet consists almost entirely, up to 90%, of solid bone. Bones are actually highly nutritious, packed with fatty marrow that provides more energy per gram than meat. The problem is accessing it. The bearded vulture has solved this problem with a digestive system that is essentially a biological cauldron. Its stomach acid has a pH of 1, stronger than battery acid. It is capable of dissolving calcium, bone, and hoof in a matter of hours. But how does a bird eat a femur the size of a human arm? It cannot chew. So it uses gravity. The bearded vulture has developed a learned behavior that takes years to master. When it finds a large bone, too big to swallow whole, it picks it up in its talons and takes flight. It soars to a precise height, often riding the updrafts to conserve energy. It locates a specific flat, hard rock below, a dedicated breaking yard called an ossuary, and drops the bone. It is a precision bombing run. The bird dives after the projectile, watching it spiral through the air and shatter on impact. If it doesn't break, the bird lands, picks it up, flies up, and drops it again. It repeats this process with the patience of a craftsman until the bone is reduced to swallowable shards. It then swallows the razor-sharp fragments whole, trusting its armored throat and acidic stomach to do the rest. Its appearance matches its macabre diet. The bearded vulture paints itself. Its feathers are naturally white, but the bird deliberately seeks out mineral springs rich in iron oxide. It bathes in the red mud, rubbing the dust into its plumage, staining itself a rusty, blood-orange color. Scientists debate why. perhaps for camouflage against the red rocks of the high Himalayas, or perhaps as a status symbol to intimidate rivals, signaling that it is strong enough to waste time on cosmetics. The result is a bird that looks like it has been dipped in blood, a fiery phoenix soaring over the gray peaks. Despite its terrifying appearance, it is a vital part of the ecosystem. It is the ultimate cleaner. It removes the last traces of death, preventing the spread of disease from rotting carcasses. It waits until the eagles, the wolves, and the leopards have finished their meals, and then it descends to consume the skeleton itself, leaving nothing behind but dust. It is the final link in the food chain of the high Himalayas, the dragon that turns death back into life, proving that in the mountains, nothing goes to waste. Finally, we reach the high plateaus, the true roof of the world where the winds are relentless and the oxygen is scarce. We are at 5,000 meters above sea level. Here, the temperature can drop to 40 degrees below zero in minutes. Most animals would freeze to death or suffocate in the thin air. But there is one creature that calls this frozen hell its home. If the leopard is the ghost and the eagle is the monarch, the yak is the engine. It is the biological machine that makes life possible in the high freeze. The wild yak, or Bos mutus, is a beast of immense proportions. A mature bull can weigh up to 1,000 kilograms, a metric ton of muscle and fur, and stand nearly 2 meters tall at the shoulder. They are built like tanks, designed not for speed, but for unstoppable momentum. To look at a wild yak is to look at a creature ready for the Ice Age. They are clad in a survival suit that is the envy of modern technology. Their coat is a marvel of insulation. The outer layer consists of long, coarse guard hairs that hang down like a skirt, reaching all the way to the ground. This skirt shields their legs and belly from the biting wind and the frozen earth when they lie down. Beneath this shaggy exterior lies a dense, woolly undercoat that traps warm air against the skin. This insulation is so effective that snow falling on a yak's back does not melt. It simply piles up. The animal loses almost no body heat to the environment. They are so well adapted to the cold that they can actually suffer from heat exhaustion at temperatures as low as 15 degrees Celsius. But the true miracle happens inside. The yak is the only large mammal evolved specifically for the physics of extreme altitude. At this height, the air pressure is low and oxygen molecules are spread far apart. A lowland cow brought here would die of heart failure within days. The yak thrives. Its chest cavity is enormous, housing lungs that are significantly larger than those of other cattle. Its heart is a powerful pump, driving blood through the body at high pressure. And the blood itself is special. The yak possesses a unique genetic adaptation. It retains fetal hemoglobin throughout its entire life. This is the super efficient hemoglobin that human babies have in the womb to extract oxygen from their mother's blood. This allows the yak to absorb oxygen from the thin Himalayan air with an efficiency that defies medical logic. While human mountaineers are gasping, dizzy, and dying, the yak is grazing calmly. Survival here is a constant battle for calories. In the winter, the grass is buried under meters of snow. The yak becomes a living snowplow. Using its massive, reinforced head and shoulders, it pushes through deep snowdrifts to reach the frozen, brown grass beneath. It eats snow to hydrate, a process that requires a massive metabolic furnace to melt the ice into water inside its gut without lowering its core body temperature. They are the definition of endurance. Unlike other animals that migrate down to the valleys when the winter hits, the wild yak stands its ground. When the blizzard screams across the plateau, they do not run. They turn their backs to the wind, lower their heads, and wait. They huddle together in a massive steam-breathing mass, sharing warmth, an immovable fortress against the storm. For the people of the Himalayas, the yak is more than an animal. It is the foundation of civilization. Without the domesticated descendants of these wild giants, human life here would be impossible. They provide transport, carrying loads over passes where no wheel can turn. They provide milk, rich in fat and protein. They provide wool for tents. Even their dung is precious. In a land above the tree line, dried yak dung is the only fuel available for fires. The wild yak is the gentle giant, the silent engine that powers existence on the roof of the world. It is a testament to the fact that with enough bulk, enough fur, and enough heart, life can endure even the most crushing elements. As the sun sets behind the 8,000-meter peaks, painting the eternal snow in shades of gold and violet, we look back at the kingdom we have explored. The Himalayas are more than just a collection of rocks and ice. They are a test. They are a crucible that strips life down to its bare essentials. In this thin air, there is no room for the weak, no mercy for the unprepared, and no second chances for the foolish. We have walked the ridges with the Snow Leopard, the gray ghost that haunts the crags. It taught us the power of invisibility and the necessity of balance on the edge of the void. We have flown on the wings of the golden eagle, the monarch that turns the sky into a weapon. It showed us that even the air itself can be a territory to be conquered. We have climbed the vertical walls with the Markhor, the wizard of the cliffs. It proved that any obstacle, no matter how sheer, can be a staircase if you have the grip and the will to ascend. We have scavenged in the death zone with the Bearded Vulture, the bone-eating dragon. It reminded us that in a world of scarcity, nothing goes to waste, and death is merely fuel for new life. And we have stood in the blizzard with the yak, the fur-clad engine. It demonstrated that endurance is not about speed, but about the stubborn refusal to yield to the storm. These creatures are the true spirits of the mountains. They are the ghosts of the sky. They remind us that nature is not just a garden to be admired. It is a force to be reckoned with. Here, on the roof of the world, the earth touches the heavens, and life, against all odds, finds a way to breathe in the vacuum. If this journey to the top of the world has left you breathless, if you have felt the chill of the wind and the majesty of the peaks, then your expedition is just beginning. We have many more wild frontiers to explore. Click the like button to help us climb higher. Subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss a new adventure into the wild. And tell us in the comments, which of these high-altitude survivors would you trust to guide you through the mountains? The ghost, the monarch, or the engine?